My friends, please, let's welcome the author of The Help. Let's get started.
I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, Merle, for that incredible talk and for allowing me to use you and your family's story in my book. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you, Merle and Chantel Strobel. Thank you to Liz Goodrich and everybody with the Deschutes Public Library and the City Read program. I am so excited that a community is coming together to talk about books. It's just fantastic. We have an incredible surprise tonight. Merle was an incredible surprise, and we have another one. Tonight, Octavia Spencer joins us. Octavia Spencer is a close friend of mine, and you can only imagine when I wrote The Help and found out I was going to go on what was supposed to be a 2-city tour. They told me I was going to Memphis and Jackson because they felt like those were close enough for my friends and family to drive to. I called my friend Octavia and I said, please join me. Please help me read the African American parts. While I read the white parts, I would be so honored. Octavia is from Montgomery, Alabama. She went to Auburn University. I still like her. I went to Alabama. She is best known for her work in Ugly Betty, Coach Carter with Samuel L. Jackson, her part in The Soloist, Spider-Man, her hysterical part in Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween, and 7 Pounds with Will Smith. Octavia read the audio version of The Help, and she's being nominated for the Best of 2010 for that. Octavia read the BBC production of The Help. They flew her to London to do a reenactment on the radio every Monday at 12 noon. And I think they knew there was no way they were going to find an actress that could pull off these parts. So they flew Octavia over there. But the most incredible news that I have about Octavia is that she has been offered to play the part of Minnie in the movie. I welcome on stage with me Octavia Spencer.
You might want to save that until after, because you might not.
Come close.
Oh, maybe I should use that. Sorry. Okay. Hi.
Tell these folks how we met.
Well, I have to tell you guys. First of all, I am so honored to crash this party tonight. And what a blessing. Okay, I can't go there. Got to keep it together. to meet you. Mrs. Evers Williams, I am so honored, and we can't go there. We can't, because I have to be funny. And that's not funny.
Have to be funny.
No, I don't have to be funny, because it may not be funny. No, the story goes, Kathryn and I actually have a mutual friend. My best friend is her childhood friend, and then they moved to New York together, and then Tate decided that he wanted to be in the movie business, so he moved out to LA, and I actually met him. We were doing a film in Mississippi. And I had heard so much about Kathryn over the years, and we decided that we would take a vacation and all of us meet up in New Orleans. And I loved Kathryn right away because she had a cute little baby with her, and I love babies. And I said, so what do you do? And she said, well, I'm about to write a book. And I said, great. And she said, and I want you to read it when it's done. I said, okay, I will. And some time passed, maybe a year or two, and I had the great fortune of bumping into her again, and she said, I'm writing a novel. And I said, great. And, about a year and a half passed, and we were actually filming a movie that Tate wrote, and we were in Montana, and it was freezing, and Kathryn and I were in a van warming up, and she was kind of off to the periphery, but I could just feel her over my shoulders as I was flipping through a magazine, and she said, Octavia, I have finished my novel. And I said, great. And she said, and I want you to read it. And I said, great. Because I wrote one of the characters kind of loosely based on you. And I really don't know what my face did at that moment, but I tried to keep it in and say, great. So I got back to LA, and it was about, maybe about a week had passed, and the manuscript came, and it was about this thick. And I love to read, but usually, everybody in LA has a screenplay or a novel, and they're all horrible. And you have to read it, and you have to give notes, but I don't like to lie. I have to do it with diplomacy. So I was already trying to think of, I didn't even know what her book was about, so I was already trying to think of what I would say, because I knew I was going to hate it, and when I saw that it was so thick, I really started hating her. And I had a bachelorette party to attend that night, and I thought, well, let me just go ahead and read the first chapter. That way, if I push it off to the side, I can at least talk to her about the first chapter. And then I'm going to go get ready for my bachelorette party. And so I read the first chapter, and it was good. And I said, well, I'm sure, the first chapter is being rewritten a million times, so the second one's going to be bad. So let me just read the second one. And it was good. And the next time I looked at the clock, it was almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't keep my eyes open. And to this day, my friend whose bachelorette party I missed still, hates me because I was supposed to be there. But I remember waking up the next day and calling Kathryn and just crying because I loved the book so much, and I was so honored that she let me read it.
Thank you. Thanks, Octavia. I got to tell you, I love being in this theater. It's just beautiful, and I can really feel the history of Oregon in here. And the backdrop, that's so wonderful, because a few weeks ago I did an event in New Jersey, and they had a floor-to-ceiling photograph of Mammy from Gone with the Wind. It was awful in so many ways. Thank you for this lovely backdrop.